lesson, I want us to look at flow diagrams. So when you're dealing with flow diagrams, what you have to note is that flow diagram is made up of three main parts. We have number one, which is called an input. Second one, rules. And the third one, we have an output. So, okay, with the input, we're dealing with the number that is entering. Let's say, for example, we are looking at how to do something. Let's say how to cook pap. So the input is going to be each and every ingredient that is needed to cook the pap. For example, the maize, water, pods, all of those things. And then the next thing that you have to note when you're dealing with a rule is found in between. It is usually in the box. I'll show you the example. And then what you have to note about the rule, let me say in the example that I gave, it may be the stove. You put the stove in the oven, what, all those steps that you do. And then we have number three, which is the output. The output is the results that comes out once you are done with the preparation of the pap, which is going to be the pap. Remember, input, the maize, water, what. The rule, whatever that you do to cook pap. For example, pouring water in the pot, stirring, all of those things, and then the output is going to be the pap. Okay, so what you have to note when you're dealing with flow diagrams is that in an activity, they will give you two things. It's either they give you an input, they give you a rule. So you're supposed to give out the results. So they can give you an output and the rule. You're supposed to give out the input, what is being inserted inside. And then what you have to also notice that they can give you the input and the output. You have to determine the rule. So each and everything that is not there, you're supposed to bring it out, or you have to work it out. So looking down below, I provided an example of how you draw a flow diagram. So remember I stated that it is made up of three parts. We have the input. It is always in this side. And then the rule, it's always in the middle. And then we have the output, which also always on the other side. Okay, so let's look at an activity. So activity says number one, complete each of the following of the flow diagrams. We have diagram A, and then we can see that they gave us the input, they gave us the rule, but it's pending, or we don't have the output. What am I supposed to do to find the output? I'm going to follow the rule. So I'm going to say the input multiply by the rule, and then I get the output. What you have to note, the input number one is supposed to give out the output number one, or the results number one. Input number two gives out the results of number two. That gives out that example, that answer, that one, that answer, that one, that answer. Let's work this one out. So number one says, we are saying 1 multiplied by 7. So 1 times 7, the answer is going to be 7. And then we write it there next to the line, or line number 1. Number 2, it says 3 multiplied by 7 is equal to. So 3 times 7 is going to be 7. 14 plus 7 is going to be 21. So it means that the answer here is going to be 21. Where do I write the 21? I write it on the second line, so it's going to be 21 there. And then number 3, it says 5 multiplied by 7. So what is 5 multiplied by 7? Let me count in 5. So it's going to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So the answer is going to be 35. Okay, where do I write the 35? I'm going to write it next to the third one. So I'm going to put it this side. So it's going to be 35. The next one is 7 multiplied by 7. So how am I going to do this? I'm going to say 7, 14, 21, 28. 28 plus 7 is going to be 35. 35 plus 7, it's it's 42. Yeah, 42. 42 plus 7 is 49. So let me see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So the answer is going to be 49. Where do I write the 49? I put it here on the fourth one. So the answer there is going to be 49. And then now we have 9 multiplied by 7. So 9 multiplied by 7 is going to be 63. 63. And then that's how you answer, or how you find the output. Okay, so let's jump to diagram B. So diagram B, now they changed. They gave us the input, they gave us the rule, they didn't give us the output, but they changed the rule. Now we are dealing with divide by 7. So what you're going to do, you're going to follow the rule. Since you're given the input and the rule, you follow the rule. So you're going to say 7 divided by 7, which is going to be 1. 21 divided by 7 is going to be 3. 35 divided by 7 is going to be 5. 49 divided by 7 is going to be, I think the answer is 7. And then 63 divided by 7, the answer is going to be 9. So what I want to show you with these two diagrams is that if you notice here, the input on diagram B is the same as the output on diagram A. So what you have to notice that when you're dealing with an input, the rule doesn't change. But when you're dealing with the output, let's say they're giving you the output. So when you're determining the input, whereby they give you the rule and the output, you change the rule. How do you change the rule? Let's say since you are given multiply by 7, now the rule is going to be divide by 7. What if they gave you minus 4? The rule is going to change to plus 4. And then you'll be like, that divided by 7 is going to give you 1. That divided by 7 is going to give you 3. That divided by 7 is going to give you a 5. And then that, just like that. I hope this is making sense.